8:32, welcome back. A messy commute again this morning as the storm system passes through the region. Flooded streets have been reported all over Metro Vancouver, including here on Kingsway. Other bad locations include the Still Creek area of Burnaby and West 16th near Queen Elizabeth School. Some streets are being closed. Lasha Kretzel is in New West and has more on what's happening on transit.
Well, pack your umbrellas and galoshes. It's going to be another wet 24 hours in the lower mainland. Rainfall warnings are in effect for the entire south coast, with up to 90 millimeters of precipitation expected before breakfast tomorrow. Here at Columbia SkyTrain station, you can see the water along 4th Street is just pouring down the hill like tiny rivers. The station was one of a couple between New Westminster and Surrey that had to briefly shut down on Tuesday because of flooding. Meanwhile, today, TransLink says Millennium Line users will have to use a shuttle between VCC Clark and commercial stations after the rain caused a small landslide that damaged some overnight equipment. Now, on the roads today, we can expect lots of pooling and running water. All that asphalt not really giving the water anywhere to go. Environment Canada says as we trade green space for more city life, we could expect smaller storms than this to have a bigger impact. At Columbia SkyTrain Station for City News, I'm News 1130's Lasha Kretzel.
A man who was running from police in Surrey last night climbed 18 meters up a tree. This happened at 76th Avenue and Hurdle Crescent around 9:30 last night. RCMP were responding to a possible domestic dispute at a home. Police say a suspect was being pursued by officers when he climbed onto a roof of a home and then climbed up a tree. Paramedics and the fire department were called in. Crews spent hours working to bring the man down. No word on possible charges. A mother and uncle accused of killing a young Maple Ridge woman 18 years ago are being extradited to India to face charges. Malkit Kaur Sidhu and Surjit Singh Badesha have lost their latest appeal to stay in Canada. The pair are accused of hiring people to kill Sidhu's daughter, Jessie, because she married a poor rickshaw driver in India. Police say they are relieved by the court ruling.
It's a great victory for Jessie Sidhu, because the whole purpose of this file was to make sure, a justice was delivered for this young girl. So we have done everything that we could have done and accomplished here in Canada. Now the case will go to India, and these two individuals will be tried in an Indian court system for the murder charges, and then we'll remain to see what happens there.
BC's new rental task force is calling for an end to rent evictions. That's one of 23 recommendations being put forward by the government-appointed task force. It would essentially allow a renter to stay put while renovations to their suite are underway. Other suggestions include eliminating a strata corporation's ability to ban owners from renting out their own strata units. A new potentially life-saving device is being introduced at Vancouver General Hospital.
It's called the REBOA, or resuscitative endovascular balloon occlusion of the aorta.
This tiny catheter, once inserted and inflated, can basically be used as an internal tourniquet or a way to stop the flow of blood.
In severely injured patients, either blunt trauma or penetrating trauma like stabbing or gunshots in the abdomen or pelvis that has significant bleeding, where the patients are in shock, close to death, and the only way to get control of that is in the operating room.
Dr. Nason Garraway is part of a team of trauma experts who fought to get this device here. Vancouver General Hospital's now the first in Western Canada to put it to use. The REBOA has been proven to greatly increase the chances of survival for people at risk of bleeding to death with just a small incision required.
Before, if that patient was about to die or going to die, we would have to, in the trauma bay, open up their chest to get control of the aorta here before trying to go up to the OR, which is a very morbid procedure with a high mortality rate.
This device has only been at VGH for about a month, and it's already saved the life of one patient here. The goal is to help around 20 others who may be dealing with severe traumatic injuries within about a year's time.
We ran a lot of simulations beforehand in the emergency department. After the simulation, the last simulation where we said we were good to go, 8 days later it was used for real.
The REBOA is disposable. It costs around $2,000, and it received Health Canada approval last year. In Vancouver, Andrea McPherson, City News.
All All right, 8:37, and we will have the latest on the storm watch.
Yeah, we're still on the storm watch today, Mary. We likely